Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video. In this video, I want to show you guys how you can actually make some super fire guitar beats all from scratch in FL Studio. I really want to show you guys some super unique and cool stuff you can actually do with the guitar patterns. And then I'm also going to show you guys some amazing tricks when it comes to the drum pattern later on. So just a quick announcement before we start the video. I just want to tell you guys that I'm currently having a sale on my Euphoria bundle kit. I have been getting a lot of good feedback from the kit, so thank you guys so much for the support. But if you still haven't checked out the kit, it's on my website. It's BBMarko.com, or you can just click the first link down below. Besides that, I don't want to waste your guys' time, so let's just get straight to it. Alright, so we are here in FL Studio 21, as you guys can see, and I recently got this Nylon Sky Sonic extensions in Omnisphere, so I really want to make some cool guitar melodies using the sounds we have in here. So I think I'm going to use this preset we have right here, but I'm definitely going to turn off the pattern just so it's not arpeggiating. Now, as for the BPM, we're going to lower it to about 125. Now, for the scale we're going to be starting off in, I'm just going to use B minor. So if you just take a listen to how the note sounds, you can really hear the noise and everything in the background. It just sounds super realistic. But you definitely want to go down to the velocity down here and put it a little bit lower than usual. This is just so we have the guitar being played a little bit softer. It's just going to sound way better, and we can turn up the volume later as well. So let's just start off with a normal B minor chord. And then we can invert this D up one octave, and we can actually pitch the whole thing down as well. Now let's mess around a little bit with the timing as well, so we can extend these over here. And we're also going to make sure that we strum them out a little bit, so again, it sounds more realistic. Then we're literally just going to copy this, but we're going to pitch it down by 5 semitones. Yeah, that sounds kind of cool. So it's a super simple chord progression, as you guys can hear, but we are going to add a little bit more to this guitar melody just so the pattern doesn't sound too boring. So to do that, I'm just going to copy this B up one octave as well. We're going to hold Alt on our keyboard though, and we're going to move it slightly to the side. And then to really get some more movement with the guitar melody, we also want to add some filler notes. Yeah, that right there is fire. So what I did here, I just added 2 notes right next to each other. But for the second note, I actually just turned the velocity all the way down. And it's going to give the guitar a little bit of a unique sound to it. And we just added these 2 filler notes right after as well. So now we have a super cool and a little bit of a unique pattern for the first part. And I am going to copy it over on the second part over here as well. But we need to add some small adjustments here and there inside of the pattern, just so we can have a little bit of that switch up. But we're not going to make too big of a change because we want to keep the repetitive pattern going on. But we want to make those slight changes just so it sounds a little bit different. So the only changes I did for the second part was actually just to lower these notes down here. So this was usually these C sharps over here on the first part, but I just switched it up to a D and a C sharp just so it's a little bit different. And then for the second part of this chord, I actually did kind of the same thing we have with this B. As you can see, we have them playing at the same time. So I did the same thing with this F and this E up here, but make sure to move them slightly off grid just so it again sounds way better. So we're just going to have it repeat over again. So that right there is a super catchy main guitar pattern. But now to make it a little bit more unique, we also want to add some effects to it. So as you guys probably know, I love using Roam. So I'm just going to start off with this as a bass layer for the reverb. So we're just going to turn it down to about 18%, should be all good. Now, to make this guitar sound a little bit more unique, I'm actually going to open up a super nice preset in Effect Track. So if you just press this default button and go down to guitar, there is this amazing preset that almost sounds like you're adding another pad in the background. It's this Crystal Choir preset, so we're just going to use this one. Yeah, so you can really hear how it almost adds that pad in the background. Gives the guitar a little bit of a unique vibe though. Next, I'm just going to add this J37 for some more saturation. Then I also have this EQ just to cut out the low end. And lastly, we have this ozone imager just to widen out the sound a little bit. So that is the guitar pattern and the effects for the pattern. And now I'm going to show you guys a super cool trick you can actually do with the same exact guitar. So literally everything we're going to do is just clone this omnisphere pattern we have over here. And as you guys can see, it's going to open up the same exact preset we just used. But now for this one, we're actually going to press on the pattern. So it's almost going to give us this guitar tremolo type of sound. So you can hear how it sounds. It really has that tremolo sound. So you just want to put it a little bit here and there to just kind of have it tucked in the background, but still present to the guitar, so it adds a little bit more movement again. So now that we have both guitars down, I think it's time to add a little bit of a counter melody. As for the sound I'm going to use for the counter melody, it's going to be this Spancer flute over here in Contact. All you want to do is go over to the tune knob and put it up by 12 semitones. It's pretty much just going to put it up 1 octave, but it's going to make the flute sound faster. And then you want to put the vibrato up to about 90. This again is going to make the flute sound a little bit more realistic as well. So we have the flute pattern repeat over again. So a nice tip when it comes to actually putting flute melodies over your main pattern is to go over to this magnet knob over here and put it on 3rd beat. This is going to make the melody sound way catchier because you're actually switching between half beat and 3rd beat. And when you merge those two together, it really enhances the whole sample. Again, let's just add some reverb to the flute. I'm just adding some fresh air to the flute as well. It's gonna give it some more color. And we have this EQ to kind of cut it out a little bit. Really remove those harsh frequencies. Then we're also adding this pancake too. It's just going to pan the flute from left to right. So now that we pretty much have everything we need for the sample, I'm just quickly going to add a texture we can use in the background. All the textures I'm using are usually coming from my Imperial one-shot kit, so I'm literally just going to pick a random one and drag it in. Alright, so I just pitched down the sample by 3 semitones. And to be fair, it sounds fire. So I really feel like the sample is starting to come together. We might add some more sounds a little bit later, but I really want to start getting that drum bounce in. So as for the drum sounds, you guys of course know all the drum sounds I'm using are coming from my Euphoria bundle kit. So if you guys like the sounds you hear, obviously make sure to go check it out. Okay, so let's just start getting that bounce in with the claps. Can add one right there. Now let's go in with the hi-hats. As for the hi-hat pattern, I'm just going to drag in a MIDI from my pack as well. Yo, this is fire, bro. It really adds a cool swing to the whole beat. I think I'm going to switch out the sound though. Yeah, this moon one is way better. It's a little bit more full. Yeah, let's start getting some more bounce with the snares. Just a simple hit right before the clap. Then we can add some rims as well. Lower the velocity a little bit. We could definitely do with some more perks. And that perk right there is kind of low key. Just gonna have one though. I want to add a reverse open hat as well. We're gonna have it for the second part. So a nice trick if you guys want the open hat to stop exactly when the clap hits is actually to open up the open hat and turn off loop points. Then you want to go over here and put on stretch. Make sure you put it a little bit back so it's not so long lasting. Then we're going to go over to the envelope and we're just going to make sure we make it square. So we're going to turn everything down except from the hold. And then we go over to the wrench tool and make sure that cut self is turned on. When we have done this, we just want to put another open hat on where the clap would usually hit. Then we're just going to turn the velocity all the way down for this second open hat. This is just to make sure that this first open hat stops exactly when this one starts playing. But since the velocity is all the way down for this one, it's not going to make any sound. Yeah, that's perfect right there. So we're just gonna have that for both. Now I think it's time we add the 808. Because I'm just adding the kick first. I'm gonna switch it up for the 808 on the second part though. But this just gets the bounce. So we have this pattern that's just following the kick. Then I kind of do a cool roll over here at the end. Alright, so now I'm quickly just going to arrange the whole thing and then I'll show you guys the final beat. So this right here is the final arrangement. So we're starting off with all the elements in the intro, but I did add a little bit of a low filter so it's tucked back.
Shut up, Marko.
And it drops in. Goes crazy on this one. Then we bring the flute back for the second part. Then we come to the verse. Slow it down a little bit. Cut off a little bit of the drums at the end. Just so we have that 808. Main part of the verse, then it comes into a bridge. Again, we have that low filter in the background. And we just build back up to the hook.